Just relax and let me take care of everything tonight.
You know you want to.
You are a disgrace to this family.
We are deeply disappointed in you. How could you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You seem distracted tonight. Is something on your mind, or is it just me?
I'm just wondering what your game is.
Why the hesitation? The terms are simple. Fair has nothing to do with this.
Simple, perhaps, but hardly fair.
Sign the contract!
You are making a mistake resisting us. This is not a request.
I remember the exact moment my life started falling apart. It didn't happen in a hospital. It didn't happen at my funeral. It happened at a dining table, with a pen in my hand and people smiling at me. Just sign it, Lena said softly. It's only a form. I looked at her and smiled back. It's my apartment. She laughed like I was joking. Our apartment. After marriage, what's yours is mine. Her voice was sweet. It always was. That was how she hid the sharp parts. Mrs. Chin cleared her throat. A man who loves his wife should not hesitate. My father nodded. It's just a tradition. My mother added, you don't want people saying you're selfish before the wedding. I swallowed. I worked 7 years for that place. Lena squeezed my hand. And I'll live there with you forever. Isn't that worth it? I wanted to say no. I wanted to stand up. Instead, I said, okay. I had bought that apartment with overtime pay, skipped meals, and broken sleep. I remembered carrying boxes up the stairs myself. I remembered standing on the balcony, thinking I had finally made it. See? Lena smiled. That wasn't hard. Mrs. Chen pushed the papers closer. Sign here. And here. My stomach burned as I read my name on the transfer line. I hesitated. What about the loan? The fees? Lena frowned. Why are you so negative today? Mrs. Chin sighed loudly. If you're worried about money already, how will you be a husband? My father avoided my eyes. Just do it. I signed. The pen felt heavy. Each letter felt wrong. Lena kissed my cheek. Thank you. I knew I chose the right man. The wedding was loud and bright. Everyone said we looked perfect. You're lucky, Jason whispered to me during the banquet. Beautiful wife, nice place. I forced a smile. Yeah. Lucky. After the wedding, everything changed. Why is the air conditioner so old? Lena said the first night. Didn't you renovate? I said, it still works. She clicked her tongue. Barely. A week later, she stopped cooking. I'm tired, she said. You eat outside. A month later, she stopped touching me. You're too stressed, she said. It's not attractive. Then the bills came. HOA fee due, the message read. I showed her. We need to pay this. She waved her phone. Later. Another notice came. Then another. Lena, I said, they're adding penalties. She rolled her eyes. Why are you panicking over small money? The elevator broke. The hallway lights flickered. Mr. Huang from the HOA knocked on our door. Maintenance fee is overdue. Lena crossed her arms. Talk to my husband. He looked at me. Your name is still on the file. I froze. What? Lena snapped, you handle it. That night, I checked the documents. My name was still tied to everything except ownership. Why didn't you remove me? I asked. She didn't look up. I was busy. With what? Living. The penalties grew. Repairs stacked up. The building announced special fees. I can't pay all this alone, I said. Lena shrugged. You're the man. Mrs. Chen called me. Don't embarrass my daughter. My parents told me to endure. Jason said, this doesn't feel right. I stopped sleeping. The bank balance dropped to numbers I didn't want to see. One morning, Lena said, I'm going to stay at my mom's for a while. For how long? I asked. She grabbed her bag. Until you fix your attitude. I sat alone in the apartment I no longer owned. The phone rang non-stop. HOA. Bank. Repair companies. I felt my chest tighten. At the hospital, the lights were too white. Stress-induced collapse, the nurse said. I lay on the hallway bed, staring at the ceiling. I thought about the apartment. The pen. The smiles. I should have said no, I whispered. That was my last clear thought before everything went dark. I snapped awake with my heart pounding like it wanted to tear out of my chest. Are you okay? Lena asked. Her voice froze me. I looked down. A pen was in my right hand. Paper sat in front of me. My name was already printed at the bottom. The apartment transfer contract. No, I whispered. Lena tilted her head. What? The room spun. My chest felt tight. My fingers shook. Mrs. Chen clicked her tongue. Why are you acting strange? I stared at the date on the paper. It was 3 years ago. I wasn't in the hospital hallway. I wasn't bankrupt. I wasn't dying. I was back. Hey, Lena said softly, squeezing my arm. You're scaring me. I pulled my hand back. My mind exploded with memories. The wedding smiles. The unpaid fees. The phone calls. The hospital lights. I swallowed hard. I just need a second, I said. Mrs. Chen frowned. What second? We've been sitting here long enough. My father cleared his throat. Son, don't make this awkward. My mother nodded. Everyone is waiting. Lena smiled at me again. The same smile. Warm. Gentle. Fake. Just sign, she said. Then we can focus on the wedding. I looked at her eyes. This time, I saw it. Not love. Calculation. I felt rage rise in my chest, hot and sharp. In my last life, I had begged. I had argued. I had folded. This time, I breathed. Slowly. Of course, I said. Lena relaxed instantly. See? I knew you'd understand. Mrs. Chen smiled with satisfaction. That's how a real man behaves. She leaned closer to the papers. This apartment will be in my daughter's name, she said. It's only right. I nodded. Only right. My hands were steady now. Inside, I was shaking. My father said, "Don't worry about the money. Family helps family." I remembered those words. No one helped me. Lena tapped the paper. "Here. Sign here." I picked up the pen. My heart raced, but my mind was calm. I noticed things I ignored before. Mrs. Chen already had copies prepared. Lena didn't ask about the loan. She didn't ask about the fees. She didn't ask anything. She assumed. "After this," Alina said casually, "we should renovate. The kitchen is ugly." I looked at her. "Renovate?" She waved her hand. "Of course. We'll make it nicer." "With what money?" I asked. Her smile stiffened for half a second. Mrs. Chen answered fast. "A man provides." I nodded again. "Of course." Lena avoided my eyes. I remembered how she avoided them later too. I pressed the pen to paper. In my last life, my stomach burned. This time, it was ice cold. I signed my name. Lena clapped softly. "Done." Mrs. Chen took the papers immediately. "Good." My mother smiled in relief. Now everyone can relax. No one asked how I felt. No one asked if I was sure. Lena leaned in and kissed my cheek. "You won't regret this," she whispered. I almost laughed. I stood up. "I need some air." Jason was waiting outside the room. "You look pale," he said. "Everything okay?" I nodded. "Perfect." He studied me. "You sure?" I smiled. "I've never been more sure." He didn't look convinced. Back inside, Mrs. Chen was already talking. "When the apartment is fully under Lena's control," she said, "we'll manage things better." Lena laughed. "Mom, don't say it like that." Mrs. Chen shrugged. "It's true." I sat back down. "So," I said casually, "about the HOA." Lena blinked. "What about it?" "Fees," I said. "Maintenance. Repairs." She frowned. "Why bring that up now?" Mrs. Chen waved her hand. "Small money." I nodded. Small money. In my head, numbers flashed. Late fees. Penalties. Special assessments. I remembered begging Lena to pay. I remembered her shrug. "Let's talk about it later," Lena said. "Today is about us." I smiled. "You're right." She reached for my hand again. I let her. Her palm was warm. My heart was cold. We finished the tea. Everyone laughed. Plans were made. No one noticed how quiet I became. When we finally stood to leave, Lena said, "You did the right thing." I looked at her. "I know," I said. That night, alone, I sat on the edge of the bed. I replayed everything. Every word. Every smile. Every lie. I didn't feel relief. I felt clarity. I whispered to myself, "This time, I won't save you." I looked at my hands. The same hands that signed away my life before. This time, they were steady. "If you want the apartment," I said softly, "you can have it." I lay back and closed my eyes. "And this time," I added, "you can keep the consequences too." The wedding hall was filled with laughter, music, and red ribbons, but all I could hear was my own heartbeat. Smile, Lena whispered through her teeth. Everyone is watching. I smiled. People clapped as we walked in. Cameras flashed. Someone shouted congratulations. You look nervous, Jason said when he stepped close to me. You okay? I'm fine, I said. He frowned. You sure? Something feels off. I chuckled lightly. It's just wedding nerves. Jason leaned closer. You said that last time too. I met his eyes. I know what I'm doing. He didn't argue, but he didn't look convinced. Lena squeezed my arm harder. Stand straight. I am. You're slouching. I'm not. She smiled sweetly at the guests. Sorry, he's a bit clumsy. Laughter followed. I laughed too. During the ceremony, everyone praised her. So beautiful. So lucky. So perfect. Lena bowed her head shyly, playing the role well. When it was time to exchange vows, she spoke softly. I promise to stand by you and build a future together. I repeated my lines. The words tasted hollow. At the banquet, relatives surrounded us. Mrs. Chen raised her glass. My daughter has finally married well. Cheers followed. She turned to me. You'll take good care of her, right? Of course, I said. She nodded. A husband must provide. Jason coughed awkwardly beside me. Lena's cousin Mia leaned over, grinning. So, brother-in-law, how's that old apartment holding up? I stiffened. What do you mean? I asked. She laughed. I heard the building has issues. Elevators breaking, pipes leaking. Lena shot her a look. Mia. Mia waved her hand. I'm joking. My chest tightened. I remembered the notices taped to the door. The warning emails. The unpaid bills. I forced a smile. It's fine. Mia raised an eyebrow. Hope the maintenance fees aren't too crazy. Lena laughed loudly. Why would he worry about that? She looked at me. Right? Right, I said. Jason pulled me aside later. Why is she talking like it's already hers? He asked quietly. I shrugged. It's just talk. He lowered his voice. You sure about the transfer? I've thought about it, I said. That's not an answer. I met his eyes. I know. The food came out. Dishes piled up. Lena barely touched hers. Too greasy, she said. Why didn't they choose a better place? I said nothing. She leaned close. You should tell the manager. It's fine, I said. She frowned. Why are you so passive today? I smiled. I'm happy. She studied me, then turned back to her phone. Photos. Messages. Plans. I watched her laugh with her friends. She never looked at me. Mrs. Chen sat beside us. After tonight, she said, we should settle everything. Yes, Lena said quickly. No delays. I nodded. We'll talk later. Mrs. Chen smiled tightly. It's better to be efficient. Jason kicked my foot under the table. I ignored him. People toasted us again. A happy marriage. A long life together. I drank. The alcohol burned. Lena leaned over. Don't drink too much. You'll embarrass me. I won't. She smiled at the guests. He's not used to crowds. I said nothing. Later, as the night dragged on, I slipped away to the hallway. Jason followed. You're acting strange, he said. I'm tired. You look detached. I laughed softly. You're imagining things. He crossed his arms. If you need help. I don't, I said. He studied me for a long moment. All right. Back inside, Lena was already annoyed. Where did you go? She asked. I needed air. You should stay with me. I will. She glanced at her watch. After this, we need to go. Go where? To the office, she said. The papers. I tilted my head. Tonight? Yes, she said, impatient. Why wait? Mrs. Chen nodded. Everything should be finalized immediately. I looked at Lena. Her smile was sharp. Not loving. Expectant. I felt it then. The blade under the smile. Jason looked between us. Tonight seems rushed. Lena snapped, It's our business. I raised my hand. It's fine. Jason stared at me. I smiled back. The banquet ended with fireworks. People hugged us. Lena held my arm tightly as we walked out. Don't mess this up, she whispered. I won't, I said. She smiled again. And I followed her, already knowing what waited for me next. I completed the transfer in a quiet office the morning after the wedding, sitting across a narrow desk that smelled like old paper and weak tea. Please read everything carefully, the clerk said. I already have, I said. Lena leaned close, her perfume sharp. Just finish it. Everyone's waiting. I picked up the pen. Mr. Huang sat across from us, hands folded. Once this is signed, your name will be removed completely from the property. Completely? I asked. Yes, he said. No ownership. No responsibility. No debt tied to you. Lena smiled wide. That's exactly what we want. In my last life, I never heard those words. I signed. The pen moved smoothly. No hesitation. No burning in my stomach this time. The clerk stamped the document. It's official. Lena clapped softly. Finally. She stood up before I did. Now we can start living properly. I looked at her. Properly? She laughed. Renovations. Upgrades. This place is old. Mr. Huang cleared his throat. Before you go, there are a few things to be aware of. Lena sighed. What is it now? The HOA fees will increase next quarter, he said calmly. So, she replied. There's also a special assessment, he continued. Major building repairs. How much? I asked. He named the number. Lena waved her hand. That's nothing. There are also unpaid balances from previous owners, Mr. Huang added. They carry over. She frowned. Why would I pay for someone else's mess? It's standard, he said gently. We'll deal with it later, she snapped. I remembered kneeling in front of her once, begging her to listen. I said nothing. At home, Lena walked through the apartment like an inspector. This wall has to go, she said. And the floor looks cheap. It's solid wood, I said. Outdated, she replied. She sat on the couch and opened her phone. I want Italian tiles for the bathroom. That's expensive, I said. She shot me a look. Why are you always talking about money? I'm just asking. She laughed coldly. That's why you'll never be successful. The words hit harder than a slap. You lived here for free, I said quietly. She smirked. And now I own it. I nodded. Yes. She stared at me. You don't even argue anymore. I don't need to. She rolled her eyes. You're getting boring. That night, she slept facing away from me. I lay awake, listening to the hum of the building. In the morning, she complained again. You should get a better job, she said. My friends' husbands earn double. I'll consider it. She laughed. That's all you ever do. I packed a suitcase slowly. She noticed. What are you doing? Work travel, I said. How long? A few weeks. Send money, she said without looking up. For what? I asked. Living costs, she replied. This place isn't cheap. I zipped the bag. You wanted everything. She finally looked at me. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said. I walked out. The hallway felt brighter than the apartment ever did. I didn't feel angry. I felt free. 2 days later, Lena called me. Where are you? She demanded. Out of town, I said. You left without explaining. I explained enough. She scoffed. Don't pretend you're busy. Come back this weekend. I can't. Why not? I have work. She laughed. Work. You're always using that excuse. I stayed quiet. She raised her voice. Do you know how much the renovation deposit is? No. You should, she snapped. You lived here long enough. You own it now, I said. She paused. What's wrong with you? Nothing. You sound different, she said. Did someone talk to you? No. She breathed hard. Don't forget your place. I ended the call. That night, Mr. Huang emailed Lena. She forwarded it to me. Why are they asking for money already? She typed. I replied, ask the HOA. She sent back, this is ridiculous. I remembered her laugh in the office. I remembered calling banks. I said nothing. Another message came. Can you help just this once? I stared at the screen. I turned the phone face down. Days passed. Lena's texts grew sharper. You're abandoning me. You're useless. You should be grateful I married you. I didn't answer. Jason called. She's asking about you, he said. I know. You okay? I'm better than okay. He hesitated. You sure this is what you want? Yes. When I finally returned to the apartment, Lena was waiting. Where have you been? She demanded. I set my bag down. Working. She crossed her arms. You missed a meeting. With who? The contractor. I didn't agree to renovations. You don't have to, she said. It's my place. I nodded. Exactly. She stared at me. Why do you keep saying that? Because it's true. She laughed nervously. You're acting strange. I'm acting honest. She stepped closer. You're my husband. I met her eyes. For now. Her smile vanished. What did you say? Nothing. She turned away. I don't like this. I packed the rest of my clothes. You're leaving again, she asked. Yes. For how long? I don't know. She scoffed. Don't expect me to wait. I won't. She looked shocked. Say something, she snapped. I hope you enjoy the apartment, I said. She laughed bitterly. I will. I closed the door behind me. The lock clicked. I didn't feel regret. I felt relief. For the first time, I stopped trying to be enough. For the first time, I chose myself. I checked into a cheap hotel across town. The room was small and quiet. I sat on the bed and exhaled. No shouting. No demands. My phone buzzed again. Lena. HOA manager came by, she typed. He's annoying. I replied, what did he say? He keeps talking about fees, she wrote. As if money grows on trees. I stared at the message. I remembered standing in that same apartment, holding overdue notices. I typed, you should listen. She replied instantly. Why should I? You always exaggerated. I put the phone down. The next day, she called again. They're asking for past balances, she said. Is that normal? Yes, I said. She snapped, why didn't you tell me? I did, I replied. When? Many times. She went silent. Then she said, you could help. The first time I heard about the missed fees, I wasn't even surprised. Jason told me over the phone. She didn't pay the HOA last month. I leaned back in my chair. That's it? He hesitated. There were fines too. I smiled faintly. Figures. She's telling people it's temporary, he said. Like it's not a big deal. I remembered her voice. Small money. I said, it's always small until it isn't. Jason sighed. You sound calm. I am. A week later, Aunt Lynn called me. You've been quiet, she said gently. I'm fine. She paused. Lena is not. I didn't respond. She borrowed money from 2 relatives, Aunt Lynn continued. Both refused. That's unfortunate. Don't be cold, she said. You were married. I was, I said. Aunt Lynn sighed. She didn't listen when Mr. Huang warned her. Did he warn her? I asked. Many times, Aunt Lynn said. She said he was exaggerating. I closed my eyes. How bad is it? I asked. Aunt Lynn lowered her voice. Very. That night, Lena called. Why didn't you tell me the fees would stack like this? She snapped. I did, I said. When? She demanded. Before the wedding. After the wedding. At the office. She scoffed. You were unclear. I was very clear. She laughed bitterly. You always twist things. I stayed silent. Say something, she said. I have nothing to add. She raised her voice. You left me with a mess. You wanted the apartment, I said calmly. That doesn't mean I wanted this. I exhaled slowly. This came with it. She went quiet for a second. Then she shouted, You're abandoning me. I moved out, I said. I didn't abandon you. What's the difference? She screamed. I stopped fixing things for you, I said. She breathed hard. You're my husband. I'm not your wallet, I replied. She cursed and hung up. I looked at my phone. No shaking. No guilt. Just silence. A few days later, Mr. Huang called me by mistake. I'm sorry, he said quickly. I meant to call Ms. Chen. It's fine, I said. He hesitated. She hasn't returned our messages. I'm not involved anymore, I said. I know, he replied. I just wanted to confirm. He lowered his voice. She's accumulating penalties. I understand. He sighed. I warned her. I know, I said. After the call, I opened my banking app. For years, I avoided it. Every time I looked, it was lower. Red numbers. Warning signs. Now, I stared at the screen. The balance was growing. Not fast. But steady. I scrolled back. No emergency transfers. No rushed payments. No draining repairs. I laughed quietly. I was saving money. Jason texted me later, she's furious. I replied, about what? About you, he wrote. I put the phone down. The next call came at midnight. You did this on purpose, Lena said. No, I replied. You knew I couldn't handle it, she accused. I knew you wouldn't listen, I said. That's the same thing. It's not, I replied. She started crying. I'm drowning. I closed my eyes. In my last life, I would have rushed over. I'm sorry, I said quietly. She sniffed. Then help me. No, I said. She froze. What? I won't help you, I repeated. You're heartless, she said. I'm done, I replied. She laughed hysterically. You think this makes you strong? I think this keeps me alive, I said. She went silent. Then she whispered, I regret marrying you. I smiled sadly. Me too. She hung up. Days passed. Then weeks. The stories reached me without effort. Renovation fines. Unauthorized changes. Water damage complaints. She ignored them all. Aunt Lynn called again. She sold her jewelry, she said. I nodded. I figured. She's angry at everyone, Aunt Lynn continued. Especially you. I'm not surprised. Aunt Lynn hesitated. Do you feel guilty? I thought about the hospital hallway. The drip. The ceiling lights. No, I said. She exhaled slowly. Then you've changed. Yes, I replied. One afternoon, Lena showed up at my door. I opened it halfway. She looked thinner. Her eyes were sharp. You're hiding, she said. I'm living, I replied. She pushed past me. You owe me, she said. I owe you nothing. She laughed. You left when things got hard. I left when you refused to listen, I said. She pointed at me. You're enjoying this. I'm enjoying peace, I replied. She slammed her hand on the table. Give me money. No, I said. She stared. You didn't even hesitate. I already decided, I replied. Her voice dropped. You'll regret this. I regretted helping you, I said. She trembled. Get out, I said calmly. She looked around. This place is small. It's affordable, I replied. She scoffed. You downgraded. I upgraded my life, I said. She laughed weakly. You're cruel. I'm quiet, I corrected. She left without another word. That night, I checked my bank app again. The number had gone up. Not because I earned more. Because I stopped bleeding. I lay in bed, listening to the silence. No angry calls. No accusations. No fear. I realized something then. The power didn't shift when she lost money. It shifted when I stopped reacting. I wasn't chasing her approval. I wasn't fixing her mistakes. I wasn't sacrificing myself. She thought the fees didn't matter. She thought I would cover them. She was wrong. And for the first time, being wrong had consequences she couldn't ignore. I slept peacefully. Outside, the city kept moving. Inside, I finally stopped falling apart. I wasn't winning loudly. I wasn't celebrating. I was simply standing still while everything else collapsed around her. And that was enough. The balance had shifted, quietly, permanently, without a single dramatic gesture from me. The notice went out on a Monday morning. Jason sent me a screenshot. Major structural repairs, special assessment due immediately. I stared at it for a long time. Then I said, "How much?" Jason replied with a number. I exhaled slowly. "That's not small." "No," he said. "It's brutal." I imagined Lena reading the same notice, her face stiffening, her fingers shaking as she scrolled. "She can't pay that," Jason added. "I know," I said. The calls started that same night. First was my mother. "She came here," my mom said quietly. She was crying. I closed my eyes. "What did you say?" "I told her we don't have money," my mom replied. "Your father said the same." "Did she argue?" "Yes," my mom admitted. "She said you abandoned her." "And?" "We told her marriage doesn't mean ruining one life to save another." I felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. "She called me unfilial," my mom added. "I'm sorry," I said. "No," my mom replied. "I'm sorry it took us so long to see it." After that, my phone rang again. This time, it was Lena. "Did you see the notice?" she demanded. "Yes," I said. "You knew about this," she accused. "I knew repairs were coming," I replied. "Not the timing." She laughed sharply. "You're lying." "I'm not," I said. "You planned this," she snapped. "You wanted this to happen." I leaned back against the wall. "I didn't cause it." "Then help me stop it," she shouted. "I can't," I said. "You won't," she corrected. "That's also true," I replied. She gasped. "You admit it." "I admit I won't save you," I said calmly. She went silent. Then she whispered, "I sold my necklace." I didn't answer. "The gold one," she added. "The one you gave me." I closed my eyes. "It barely covered the fines," she said. "Not even half." "I'm sorry," I said softly. She laughed weakly. "You keep saying that." "I mean it," I replied. "You don't sound like it," she said. "I sound tired," I answered. The next day, Aunt Lynn called. "She went to 3 relatives," she said. Everyone refused. "Why?" I asked. Aunt Lynn hesitated. "Because she blamed them." I nodded. "That sounds like her." "She said you poisoned them against her," Aunt Lynn continued. "I haven't spoken to them," I said. "I know," Aunt Lynn replied. "That's why they didn't believe her." Jason met me for coffee later. He looked serious. "Did you plan this?" I stirred my cup slowly. No. Then why are you so calm? He asked. Because I lived it once already, I said. He frowned. That's not an answer. I didn't cause the repairs, I said. I didn't raise the fees. But you didn't stop it, he said. I met his eyes. I stopped sacrificing myself. Jason leaned back. That's cold. It's honest, I replied. He sighed. She's breaking. I broke too, I said. He didn't argue. That night, the call came at 2 in the morning. I almost didn't answer. Almost. Hello? I said. Her breathing was uneven. I can't sleep, Lena whispered. I sat up. What happened? They put a deadline, she said. If I don't pay, they'll add liens. I said nothing. I didn't understand, she continued. I thought you exaggerated. I closed my eyes. I'm sorry, she said. The words were soft. Fragile. I should have listened, she whispered. I should have respected you. My chest tightened. In my last life, I waited years to hear that. I was scared, she said. I didn't think you'd leave. I swallowed. I didn't think I'd survive. She started crying. I miss you, she sobbed. I really do. For a moment, I imagined going back. Standing beside her. Taking the weight again. My heart hurt. Come back, she whispered. Please. I breathed slowly. No, I said. Her crying stopped. What? She asked. I won't come back, I repeated. You're really doing this, she said. I am, I replied. You don't love me, she accused. I loved you, I said. You didn't respect me. That's not fair, she cried. It's true, I replied. She was silent for a long time. Then she said, I'm afraid. I stared at the wall. I was afraid too, I said. Every day. She whispered, I don't know what to do. You'll figure it out, I replied. How? She asked. That's not my responsibility anymore, I said. She laughed bitterly. You've changed. Yes, I replied. She sniffed. I hate you. I know, I said. She hung up. I lay back down. My heart was racing. My hands shook slightly. I didn't feel victorious. I felt heavy. But I also felt free. The next morning, Jason texted me. She tried to borrow from me. I replied, What did you say? No, he wrote. I nodded to myself. Later, my father called. She came again, he said. And? I asked. She begged, he admitted. I closed my eyes. And you? I asked. I told her, he said slowly, that love without respect is cruelty. I smiled faintly. That night, I checked my bank app. The numbers were steady. No emergencies. No sudden drains. I sat quietly, listening to the hum of the city. I thought about Lena. About the girl I once loved. About the woman who broke me. Karma didn't shout. It didn't rush. It waited. I didn't push her into the fire. I just stepped away. And when the numbers turned against her, there was no one left to shield her. I realized then that going back wouldn't save love. It would only revive the trap. I turned off my phone. I lay down. And for the first time, even with guilt in my chest, I knew I had made the right choice. Love without respect was just another way to die. The first legal notice arrived on a Friday. Jason sent me a photo. Notice of lien, outstanding fees and penalties. I stared at it longer than I should have. Then another message came. Final warning before foreclosure proceedings. I closed my eyes. So it had reached that point. I didn't feel joy. I felt tired. 2 days later, I saw her. I was walking past the apartment building for the first time in months when I heard shouting. "You can't do this." I stopped. Lena was standing near the entrance, hair messy, face pale, clutching a stack of papers. Mr. Huang stood a few steps away, calm but firm. "We've explained this many times," he said. Mrs. Chen was beside Lena, pointing aggressively. "This is unfair," she yelled. "You're bullying her." Mr. Huang sighed. "Mrs. Chen, the fees were unpaid for months." "They're exaggerating," Mrs. Chen snapped. "This building always has problems." Lena saw me then. Her eyes widened. "You," she said hoarsely. I walked closer. Mr. Huang nodded at me. "Sir." I nodded back. "Mr. Huang." Mrs. Chen turned on me. "This is your fault." I didn't respond. Lena laughed weakly. "Of course he's here. To watch." "I was just passing by," I said. She scoffed. "Liar." Mr. Huang cleared his throat. "Miss Chen, we need to proceed." "With what?" Lena asked sharply. "With seizure," he said. Her body stiffened. "No," she whispered. "You can't." Mrs. Chen grabbed his arm. "There must be another way." "There isn't," he replied. Lena turned to me suddenly. "Say something." I looked at her. "What do you want me to say?" I asked. "Tell them," she pleaded. "Tell them you'll help." I shook my head. "I won't." Her face crumpled. "You're really doing this." "I didn't do this," I said quietly. Mrs. Chen stepped between us. "You heartless man." I met her eyes. "You pushed this." She slapped my arm. "You ruined my daughter's life." I didn't move. Lena screamed, "Stop it." She turned to me again. "Why didn't you stop me?" she asked, voice shaking. "Why didn't you force me to listen?" I swallowed. "Because I tried before," I said. "And you never did." She shook her head. "That's not true." "It is," I replied. Mr. Huang checked his watch. "We need to continue." Lena grabbed my sleeve. "Please." Her hand was trembling. For a second, my chest tightened. Then I remembered the hospital hallway. The ceiling lights. "I knew this would happen," I said softly. She froze. "What?" "I've been here before," I continued. "I lost everything because of this apartment." Mrs. Chen scoffed. "What nonsense are you talking about?" Lena stared at me. "You're lying." "I'm not," I said. "I warned you because I already lived it." She shook her head slowly. "That's impossible." "Maybe," I said. "But the result is the same." Her eyes filled with tears. "You let me fail," she whispered. "No," I said. "I let you choose." Mr. Huang stepped forward. "Ms. Chen, please step aside." Lena laughed suddenly, broken and sharp. So this is it, she said. All my plans. All my upgrades. I said nothing. Mrs. Chen shouted again. This is all your fault. I finally spoke to her. You taught her that money didn't matter, I said calmly. You taught her someone else would pay. She opened her mouth. No words came out. Lena looked at her mother, then back at me. I didn't think you'd really leave, she said. I didn't think I'd survive if I stayed, I replied. Mr. Huang held out the document. This apartment will be seized to cover outstanding debts, he said. Lena stared at the paper. Her hands shook as she took it. This place, she whispered, was supposed to be my future. I nodded. It was my past. She looked up at me, eyes red. Do you feel satisfied? She asked. I thought for a moment. No, I said. I feel finished. She laughed weakly. That's worse. The staff began marking the door. Mrs. Chin started crying loudly. This is injustice. No one responded. Lena slumped against the wall. I watched her slide down slowly, like the strength drained from her body. I crouched in front of her. This isn't revenge, I said quietly. It's consequence. She looked at me blankly. I lost my life once, I continued. I won't lose it again. She nodded slowly, like she finally understood something she couldn't undo. Mr. Huang gave me a look. I'm sorry, he said. I know, I replied. The door was sealed. The apartment was gone. Lena stood up unsteadily. She didn't scream. She didn't beg. She just looked small. Mrs. Chin kept talking, blaming, shouting. No one listened. I stepped back. Lena watched me. You're leaving, she said. Yes, I replied. She nodded. I deserved this, she said quietly. I paused. You deserved to learn, I said. So did I. I turned away. Behind me, the building stood silent. The place she wanted so badly had taken everything from her. Just like it took everything from me once. But this time, I walked away alive. And I didn't look back. The divorce office was quiet. Too quiet. The clerk slid the papers across the table. Please review and sign. Lena's hands shook as she picked up the pen. Mine didn't. She stared at the document for a long time. This is really happening, she said softly. Yes, I replied. She laughed under her breath. You're so calm. I wasn't before, I said. She glanced at me. Before when? Before I almost died, I answered. She lowered her eyes. The clerk cleared her throat. You can sign when ready. Lena swallowed and signed her name. The pen scratched the paper unevenly. When it was my turn, I signed quickly. No pause. No doubt. The clerk stamped the documents. It's finalized. Lena flinched at the sound. That's it, she asked. That's it, the clerk replied. We stood up. Lena hesitated. Can we talk? I nodded. Briefly. We stepped into the hallway. She leaned against the wall. I didn't think it would end like this. I did, I said. She laughed weakly. Of course you did. She looked at me. In another life, would you have stayed? I thought about the hospital bed. The four. The ceiling lights. No, I said. She closed her eyes. Then I guess this is right. She straightened. Take care of yourself. You too, I replied. She walked away slowly. I didn't follow. Outside, the air felt lighter. I breathed deeply. At work, May noticed first. You seem different, she said during lunch. In a good way? I asked. She smiled. Calmer. I feel calmer. She nodded. That matters. We sat in silence for a moment. No pressure. No expectations. I'm getting coffee, she said. Want some? Sure, I replied. She brought it back without asking how I took it. I appreciated that. Later, Jason called. It's done, he asked. Yes. How do you feel? I thought for a moment. Free. He laughed. You deserve that. At home, I reviewed my finances. Savings. Plans. No emergencies. No panic. I remembered nights I couldn't sleep. Now, I slept easily. Aunt Lynn called that weekend. I heard, she said. Yes. She paused. You did the right thing. I know. You sound stronger, she added. I am. May and I worked late one evening. You don't talk much about your past, she said. I don't need to, I replied. She nodded. That's healthy. I smiled. Weeks passed. Life became simple. Work. Rest. Quiet. One night, I passed by the old apartment building. I didn't stop. I didn't feel anything. That surprised me. At home, I looked at myself in the mirror. You survived, I said quietly. Not loudly. Not proudly. Just honestly. Revenge hadn't been shouting. It hadn't been destroying. It had been letting go. I turned off the light. And slept without looking back. My mornings are quiet now. No alarms screaming. No missed calls. No fear sitting on my chest. I wake up before the sun, stretch and breathe. That's enough, I tell myself. No one argues. I make coffee and sit by the window. The city wakes slowly. Cars pass. Someone laughs below. Life moves without asking me for anything. Jason calls sometimes. You still alive, he jokes. I think so, I reply. He laughs. You sound normal. That's the goal. At work, May sits across from me during breaks. You're early again, she says. I like the quiet, I reply. She nods. Me too. We don't talk about the past. We don't rush anything. Respect feels simple. One afternoon, my mother calls. You're eating properly, she asks. Yes. Sleeping? Yes. She pauses. I'm glad. So am I say. I don't feel anger anymore. Not toward her. Not toward Lena. Just distance. A few weeks later, I walk past the apartment building one last time. I stop across the street. I don't cross over. That place almost killed you, I say quietly. No response. The windows look empty. I feel nothing. Not hate. Not regret. Just space. My phone buzzes. A message from Lena. I heard you're doing well. I stare at it for a long time. Then I type, I hope you are too. She doesn't reply. That's okay. That night, I sit with Jason at a small bar. You ever think about it? He asks. Sometimes, I say. Miss it? No, I reply. He raises his glass. Then you won. I shake my head. I survived. He smiles. That's better. At home, I open my bank app again. The number is steady. Growing slowly. Healthy. I remember how it used to drop overnight. How I used to panic. I don't miss that. I cook dinner. Simple food. Clean dishes. No criticism. No silence filled with anger. May texts. Did you eat? Yes. Good, she replies. That's all. I like that. Before sleep, I think about who I was. A man who confused love with sacrifice. A man who thought enduring pain made him good. I was wrong. Love without respect was just a slow death. I whisper, not again. The room stays quiet. In the mirror, I look older. Calmer. Alive. I chose myself, I say. And for once, that feels right. I didn't destroy anyone. I didn't need to. I just stopped letting myself be destroyed. That was enough. This life finally belongs to me.